Hey guys, welcome back to the Game Room. Today we're taking a look at the newest release for Adventure Time Card Wars from Cryptozoic Games. This is Princess Bubblegum versus Lumpy Space Princess, the collector starter set here. So this comes with two decks similar to the Jake and Finn deck and the Rainicorn and BMO decks, and it introduces the Nice Lands finally. This is the fifth land type that was not included with the original sets, but was included with the booster packs, and it gives you some new options with that. So you can actually use those cards that you got in the booster packs now. Let me take a look at the decks itself, I'll show you the components, and I'll give you my opinion at the end. So here's the contents of the LSP versus Princess Bubblegum starter. We get another set of the kind of cheap health tokens here, nothing special here, we'll set those aside. There's also another decoder card in this set, but again, not very important to the actual game. But in the middle here we have the landscapes, and we have 2 blue plains, 2 useless swamps, and 4 nice lands. Now the 2 blue plains and 2 useless swamps both go with LSP's deck, so that's interesting because it's the first deck out of the box that comes with 2 different landscapes. So it kind of gives you an idea of how to mix and match different landscapes if you didn't do that with the previous decks already. So that's an interesting aspect. But the real kicker for this is going to be the Nice Lands. And the Nice Lands cards were introduced in the For the Glory booster packs, but there was not actually a starter out to use them, so there was no real way to utilize all those cards you got, and now there finally is. You do have the landscapes in here, and you have an entire deck dedicated to Nice Lands to kind of flesh out that faction. So let's look at the cards, since that's what we're here for. First up, let's take a look at Princess Bubblegum. So obviously being Nice Lands, you're going to have a lot of sugary sweet stuff. We have the green candy, healer, deal 1 damage to target creature. It's got like the cotton candy look. We have the Celestial Castle, which we've actually seen before, boosts your defense. We have the one that boosts your offense. And the Cave of Solitude, this is a Nice Lands card, but this was actually in the show, so that's kind of cool they brought it in. Discard a card, your creature in this land can't be targeted or attacked until the start of your next turn. Pretty much does what it did in the show. Windmill of Health, another card I believe that was in there, or a windmill was in that card. While your creature in this land has no damage on it, it has +2 attack. One thing with Nice Lands that you're going to notice, it's a lot dealing with health. Healing health, being at specific amounts of health. So that's going to be kind of their theme, their thing. One of my favorite cards in the game, it's just the cow. It's Flavor Texas Moo. I don't know, I can't dislike that. Angel Heart, when Angel Heart has exactly 3 damage on it, gets +3 attack. So again, that whole being at a specific amount of health thing. Albino Eyebat has exactly 2 damage on it, gets +2 attack. A Cotton Eyebat, while it has exactly 4 damage, it gets +4 attack, so you kind of see the trend here. Like with other Card Wars expansions, the rules aren't very difficult, and they make the powers very simple for kids to learn. Wall of Chocolate, oh my god, these cards. While it has no damage, it gets +3 attack. Kept these in pretty much the same order, hopefully. If they're out of order, they've been shuffled a bit when we were playing. I tried to reorganize them. We've got Mrs. Fluff, another really awesome card. Has exactly 7 damage on its +2 attack, so again, that's pretty much what you're going to see. You can heal hit points, that's one of the healers in the deck. The Apple Pie Clops is literally one of my favorite cards ever, just because I love apple pie, and I think the name Pie Clops is hilarious. Start your turn, you may heal or deal 1 damage to each creature you control. Nisosaurus Rex, start your turn, if Nisosaurus Rex has damage on it, draw a card. So again, there are reasons to hurt your own guys in here as well. Start your turn, you heal 1 hit point for each different landscape you control, so it kind of emphasizes having multiple landscapes. Fairy Shepherd, each adjacent Nice Lands gets +2 defense. Regular Pie Clops, when he enters play, heal 1 damage for each adjacent creature. Angel Vanilla, pay 1 action, heal all damage. From the Angel Vanilla, this is heal all damage for Angel Chocolate. Snake Mint, oh my god. These are Ring of Fluffy. Target creature you control gets +X attack, where X is the amount of damage on it. So again, based on how much damage you got, that might help. Falling Star. Creature you control take no damage from opposing creatures this turn. Kind of like a fog move. Each of your creatures with no damage has gets +2 attack. That's Pie Storm. And we got Blue Candy. Heal up to 3 damage from target creature you control. So again, very healing oriented. Having specific damage really helps. That's kind of like the theme of this deck overall. Let's take a look at LSP's deck. So LSP's deck, and I have this organized a little bit differently, unfortunately. So the Blood Fortress, we'll skip that. It's not very important. It's what we've seen before. We've got the Dog Boy. Discard a card. Dog Boy has +2 attack this turn. And just to give you a preface here, LSP's deck mixes kind of the BMO deck with the Finn deck from the original set. It's got kind of a discard feel to it, and it's got some other stuff as well. So Dog Boy kind of plays in that discard effect. Goat, when he enters play, is replaced with a creature, draw a card. The first one, I love this one. I love this one all as much as the cow, almost. We got the Brain Gooey. When he enters play, if it replaced a creature, it has +2 attack this turn. So kind of the Blue Hills or the Blue Plains trying to replace creatures in play, in this case, instead of moving them around necessarily. When it enters play, if replace a creature, you may put a card from your discard pile on top of your deck, so that's really good. And this actually helps a lot with the discard strategy, because it gets stuff into your graveyard, as well as giving you additional effects. When it enters play, if it's replace a creature, draw 2 cards. Wow, really strong ability on that one. Future Scholar, when Future Scholar enters play, if it replaces a creature, gain 1 action. We got the Headphone Jerk. When Headphone Jerk enters play, if it replaces a creature, deal 3 damage to another creature in this lane. Traveling Skeleton, Floop, Traveling Skeleton, and another creature you control change lanes with each other, so that could go really well in the original Finn deck. Strength Crystal, target player draws 5 cards, very, very strong, but takes your whole turn to use. Pants of Awesome, move target creature you control to an empty blue plains landscape you control, then draw a card, another one that could go really well with the original Finn. Subliminal Strength, target creature you control has +2 attack for each spell you played this turn, including this one. We have a couple of those. Pyramidia, let's see, Floop, if you control a creature in this lane, gain 1 action. Use it only to play creature into this lane, so it helps you replace that creature essentially. Infinite Figure, so now we're getting to the Swamplands. Discard a card, deal 1 damage to another creature in this lane, so here's the discarding stuff. Discard a card, Dragonfoot has +1 attack this turn. The Squatting Baldman. The Baldman is back, people. Discard a card, heal 1 damage from Squatting Baldman. So actually, he's a little bit better than the original, a lot of it better than the original one. Herculi, discard a card. Herculi gets +4 attack. So a lot of really good discard abilities. Discard a card, deal 1 damage to each opposing creature. That's the pink Merwitch. The Fatapillar, +2 attack for every 5 cards you discard pile. This is going to be the stuff that's kind of in the BMO deck, where it gets effects based on how much is in the discard pile. Floop, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. For each spell discarded, target player discards a card. The Stake Chop, at the start of your turn, discard 2 cards or destroy Stake Chop. So he's strong for 4/4 for a 1, but you have to keep him. You have to keep discarding to keep him. We have Volcano. I believe that's another one that was actually in the original deck, or in the show itself, which is funny. Destroy target building. You may deal 3 damage to a creature in that lane. Flip your landscape in that lane face down. So it's very thematic. There's the one with the ad on it. Brief Power. Target useless swamp creature you control gets +2 attack this turn. The Toilet of Doom. Target creature you control gets +4 for every 5 cards in your discard pile. The Mausoleum. Your creature in this lane has +1 defense for every 5 cards in your discard. Night Tower. If your opponent has no creatures in this lane, they discard a card. So guys, that is LSP's deck. It kind of synergizes with itself because you're wanting to replace your own cards in lanes, so you're going to be discarding cards to fill up your graveyard, and then of course you're discarding cards to get more effects. So I think this synergizes a little bit better than the original BMO deck, but there's a lot of cards that go really well from that deck in this, or vice versa. So two really solid decks, I'd say. They have really good core strategies and wouldn't be too hard for kids to learn, and they can be modified quite a bit. So guys, that is Card Wars LSP versus Princess Bubblegum. As you can see, it's pretty solid decks. An introduction of a new land type is very important to the game. I think that's really all there is to it. Let me take you to my final opinions. So guys, that is the Princess Bubblegum and LSP starter deck. Now, this is cool just because it gives me the nice lands finally. I've been really waiting on this 5th energy type to give me a little more customization, and I just wanted to use those cards that I've had in the booster packs for so long. It's about on the same level as the other starter decks, honestly. I like what the nice lands bring. Kind of has the healing aspect, more cleric-y type stuff. The new cards are hilarious again, as always. The Pyclops and the Apple Pyclops, those are just, every time I see stuff like that, it just cracks me up. And I like the LSP deck because it mixes a couple of land types, so this is a cool introduction for, especially for kids who are starting off with Adventure Time, maybe as their first CCG or LCG, to get into the game a little bit, because that, you know, the first starters, they were just single monotypes, and now they introduce one that has 2 types, so it kind of teaches you how to mix the types and how to use different abilities from different energy types together. So I like that it kind of introduces the deck building aspect to kids as well. So honestly, I think it's a really good value. I believe if this is the last thing that comes out for Card Wars, I'd be completely fine with it. You got a lot of good starter sets. You got 1 set of boosters. I feel like I got enough out of this game. I'm probably going to stop with this, but it's been a really fun game, and I definitely enjoy having it in my collection. It's a really cool theme, and honestly, this is just another great element to that game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Still the same concepts as far as the other starter sets go, so nothing new there, but it's definitely a worthy addition if you're interested in the Card Wars series, or if you haven't played before, it's a good starter deck to start with. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that review of Adventure Time Card Wars. As always, you can check out our social media in the description below. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff, as well as subscribing up here or in the description below. If you'd like the video, you want to see more of that, you definitely want to subscribe because it'll update you as soon as we release new content, which we do quite often. So guys, as always, I'll see you next time in the game room.